Hello everyone, welcome back to the Real Stay at Home Dad. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. As some of you know, our son is 11 years old and he is on the autism spectrum and also diagnosed with ADHD. And recently he's not receiving what he needs to succeed in public school. That's not a knock on his school or any of his teachers or anything like that. Public school just does not have the funds to support him and the staffing to support him. Our son needs a lot of prompting and a lot of one-on-one time. He does a lot of scripting and just talking out loud, and that's just not something that our public school is equipped to deal with successfully. We have been looking at some private schools that are more specialized in kids with special needs, whether that be autism, Down syndrome, ADHD, any kind of special needs that children may have. And we've been touring one, and our son seemed to like it. We took him Monday to tour it, and he seemed to really enjoy it and asked if he could go back today. You know, this is a private school, so it is, you know, relatively costly. So I just wanted to give a little bit of resources that we have been able to find. Unfortunately, we've passed most of the deadlines, so we'll have to try again next year or in October when one of them opens up. You know, autism it's well known, everybody knows it, but the resources to get help aren't that common. Fortunately, you know, me and my wife, you know, we have a good income from her job. The downside is we don't qualify for low income grants that, you know, the government has to offer. Today, I just wanted to go over a few things that I have found for resource wise. Again, we have passed most of these deadlines, so we can't apply for them, so I don't know how well they will go. If you have a child with autism and have had success getting resource help for like education resources, you know, please, you know, message me, comment down below, let me know. This is one of those topics where not many people talk about, and the resources are very hard to find. And hopefully this helps some of you if you're trying to find more resources for education for your child. These are just a few that I'm going to go over. And we live in Georgia. So the biggest one that we have, it's called the SB10. It's also called the Georgia Special Needs Scholarship. And what that is if your child is in public school and he or she already has an IEP in school, then you automatically qualify for this scholarship. You can use this to any other school that takes SB10. If your child already has an IEP in the education system, then they'll automatically pull up in the system. So this is an automatic scholarship that we can use for our son. The dollar figure that you get is automatically calculated. The school can pull it up. But yeah, so that's the first one that's here in Georgia that's automatic. It's called the Georgia Special Needs Scholarship, or the SB10. I was doing some research on some other foundations that offer like grants, private grants for education. And honestly, there's not that many out there that I have been able to find. And the first one that I found was West Georgia Autism. I reached out to them because they say they offer grants for education. Well, they emailed me back, and unfortunately they don't offer private grants anymore for individuals, and that they help in broader ways is what their email said. So they have on their website that they offer grants, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like they do anymore. The next one that I found, the Maggie Welby Foundation, and I'll put the name somewhere up there. They accept applications in March and in October. So being that it's May, we missed the March application. And this is only scholarships for schools, not therapies or medical bills. I also emailed them just in case maybe they had some funds left over, because again, me and my wife, we've never heard of this foundation before. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who haven't heard of this foundation. So we are going to email them just in case maybe they have some funds left over and can provide some kind of assistance. As a family with a child with autism, every little bit helps. Deadline's passed, but if they email me back, I'll provide an update here. The next foundation is My Goal, and they have a My Goal Autism grant for education. We missed the deadline for their application. It was February 1st through April 30th. They have a My Goal Autism grant that's offered for education resources. The last one that I came across, I don't know how it's pronounced, so I'm going to put it right here. The Varghese Somerset Autism Scholarship is the name of it. And again, the deadline was April 1st, so we missed that one. This scholarship is more specific for children 15 years and younger. All this was kind of happened fast. We weren't seeing any improvement, so we decided to just look up some special education private schools near us, and we came across two. One of them is just, to be completely open and honest, it was out of our budget. The next one was we still really liked, we toured it. It was more in our budget, still pricey, but that SB 10 grant helps out a lot. So all these that have expired, I've put on our calendar for this year, for next year, and then the one in October I put on our calendar for this year to remind us to apply for it. I'm also going to email them just to see if they have any available funds left over. Because again, me and my wife were talking and we've never heard of these places, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that need resources that haven't either. So these are just a few foundations that I've come across that offer scholarships or grants for education services. And again, if you know of any resources that are available for people like us, or you've had experience and got a grant or a scholarship, message me, comment down below. Yes, that means more people will apply, but it at least gives more awareness to resources for children with disabilities. Because again, nothing against the public school, but everybody knows that our public schools are not the best. They don't have the resources, they don't have the staffing to provide for one teacher for 30 kids in a regular class, let alone for kids that are non-neurotypical. So again, this isn't your normal video. Just want to provide a little bit of information that may be useful to some other families out there that have children with disabilities. Just want to say thank you for watching. If you know of anything, please let me know. Comments. Let's share this information. Keep it real, because we keep it real here, and one of the things is education for our child, our son that has autism, and finding him the help that he needs, that way he can succeed best in life. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.